Good morning, fam. Welcome to Plantish. Let's talk about it. We are going to be going into a book review this morning, and we're very excited for that. Chef Sebeq, as many of you have heard about it yet, but this is by Chef Makini Howell. She is a beloved chef. She's had Plum Empire, I'm going to say, because she has her Plum restaurant. She's had Plum Sweets. She's had Plum Chopped and a Plum food truck that she has had for over 20 years. And so we're excited to be talking about her book. She is going to be joining us on a future episode of Plantish. Let's talk about it. Hey, Chef, how are you doing? Looking quite dapper over there.
Chef, thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It is what? Tuesday,
It's Tuesday.
February 11th, and we are documenting. We have to document, fam, everything we're doing. Document and hold on to it, right? But I was just sharing, hi, welcome, Eden. I'm just sharing that we're going to be getting into Simple Goodness by Chef Makini Howell. This is her third book, actually. Her first book was McKinney's Vegan Kitchen, and then she came out with Plum, which is gratifying recipes, menus, and such. If you've never been to her restaurant, you're going to want to get Simple Goodness because she's recently closed her restaurant after 20 years because she's diving into some very exciting endeavors that we're going to be able to talk with her about in a future episode. But I mean, she didn't hold back. She's really put in some of the recipes of the menu items on her, restaurant menu. I had the pleasure of working with her. I was one of her guest chefs at her Plum Bistro restaurant in 2020. And in 2018, I, and four other vegan chefs cooked at the James Beard Foundation for International Women's Day. I'll never forget it, March 8th, 2018. It poured rain. We had a sold out group of guests. We had such a ball, and I think it was one of the first times they had a full vegan dinner with all female vegan chefs, of course, international. We had a chef from Hong Kong, a chef from Berlin. And so it was just an exciting, exciting fair. I've known Chef McKinney for, 8 years. And Chef, because we've shared this, she is also a vegan since birth.
Yes, that is so exciting. And Chef, you were speaking about 2018 in March, and you're taking us down memory lane. So you just have to give us a little further insight. What was the menu? What did you guys cook?
Oh my gosh, it was 5 courses. I started off with the appetizers, and I made a almond cheese, and it had dried figs,
Mm-hmm.
and it had a balsamic dressing, and then we had these lettuce, it was like tuna lettuce cups because it was light starting off. I'm not even going to remember everything that everyone cooked, but I know the plates were cleaned. And
Yeah,
I can put up the link later on, and it shows the
nice.
whole menu. Then we worked with all wines that were either owned by women, wineries owned by women, or and vegan and organic and sustainable. So it was something for real next month, Women's History, for sure, for
Yes.
sure. But Chef,
Beautiful.
you've got the book. We both got the book.
Listen, I got the book right here. It's not too far away from me. It's right
I'm
here.
gonna put a link so you can purchase the book from Bookshop because you can choose what bookstore you want to support by purchasing books from Bookshop. I'm not going to get into any political things, but we know we're trying to support our local bookstores. Or if you have a local bookstore you love, please check it out. Simple Goodness. And then, Chef, tell me what your thoughts of the book are, and I'll put this link in.
Oh my goodness, this book is so dense. I love it because no matter where you are on your journey, there's something in here for literally everyone, whether you're just starting out on your vegan journey or if you're a seasoned vegan and you've been doing this for 20 plus years, you can find something in this book. Uh, One of the things that I would like to point out that is just casually mentioned in the book throughout is how, this is Stevie Wonder's personal chef. And I just think that is so cool. And at the beginning of the book, he just speaks about how good of a person McKinney is and how nourishing the food is and how you perform by what you put in your body. You perform better when you're eating, good nourishing food prepared by someone that loves what they're doing. And I just love that Stevie Wonder took the time out to really emphasize that. Um, and I think it just speaks volumes to the person that she is and uh, the love and energy that she puts into her things, her projects. Sure.
I agree. And she dedicated the book to her father, who everyone called Baba. He has, he and her mother, her father and her mother started selling tofu sandwiches. I mean, they started this 50 years ago. They're in Seattle, Washington, but her family is from Alabama. And she talks about in this, letter to him, really it is in this letter to him, she talks about remembering the smells of him grilling, being on the pit with the tofu, the mystique, the smells, the aromas. And just one part she writes in her book, the last part to him, she says, thinking of you reminds me of Corinthians 13. It starts out, love is patient, love is kind. And for me, having grown up as your daughter, faith and hope hold some of the deepest meanings in that verse. But the greatest of all is love. To have been loved by you was the gift of my life. Such a tribute to her father. Look at Baba.
That's
He was
so
there
beautiful.
when I cooked in 2020. He has transitioned. We know he's with us in spirit. So we just send him a lot of love. But I think, the book is just full of love, right, Chef? Have you found that?
Absolutely.
Sam, if you have the book, please comment in the chat that you have it. And if you want to get the book, please comment. I put the link in there. It's actually bookshop.org. And I love this because you can go in and search the bookstore you want to shop. If you don't have a local one, obviously, I love
Mhm.
going in locally and just sitting in a bookstore, getting my matcha and just
Yes.
hanging out with books. And I usually leave with every book I open, so I've got to be careful. But let's support bookshop.org or your favorite bookstore. Let's really put emphasis. It's Black History Month, but we know all else that's going on in the world. Let's get out and touch and touch physical things and, let that book speak to you and bring it home, whatever book. But today we're talking about simple goodness. So Chef, tell me, I know we talked about it and I just want to share something. This is a no fuss cookbook. And Makini has really shared it's like no fuss, cooking from your pantry. And
Hmm.
she just literally, now many of you may say, well, I don't use those products, but many of us do. We use tofu. Some
Hmm.
people do use Impossible, Oatly. I mean, look at the shout out she's given to these companies.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is she shows you literally how to cook from your pantry. Whatever you have, she's giving you ideas. But then if you are cooking whole foods, no other bought, ingredients, you can cook from that. And the recipes are super easy. And I identify several of them from not only cooking at her restaurant, but eating from her restaurant. So have you found some favorite recipes, Chef?
Absolutely. And to your point about the product recommendations in the book, there are a million and one products out here. We know that plant-based is like the new thing that's in vogue, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, trying a product and finding your favorite or finding one that's actually good is another thing. And so I just find it really helpful to have things already listed from someone that is seasoned in the game,
Yes,
vegan since birth, right?
yes.
And I just think that's so beautiful. But to answer your question, of course, there's so many things in here. And me personally, I'm in my smoothie era. I love a good smoothie. And so yeah, this one caught my eye right here.
This one,
So,
Chef?
I had to whip it up.
Cheers, Chef. Cheers. We're gonna get food through
We're
this
twins.
internet yet.
Yeah.
So you made the black or the berry smoothie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did I. So fam, it has a cup of blackberries, frozen,
Mm-hmm.
a cup of frozen pineapple, a cup of fresh squeezed orange juice, and you could dilute that if you don't do straight orange juice, a half cup of coconut cream, like the can, the cream you coconut cream you buy. So she's again from the pantry, and I just blended that up. I put a tablespoon of my honey, Melody honey, which I love to use as a sweetener, but she says in the recipe agave. And then what else was there, Chef? Am I missing something?
Yep, the
Oh,
pineapple,
yes,
blackberry,
the
coconut
chia
cream,
pudding.
chia
The
pudding. Yep.
chia pudding. So it's a fourth cup of chia pudding, which is bumping up the
Hmm.
protein. It's giving it a very creamy, look at that, guys. Anybody want this right now? But a way to start your morning. You know, when I get that craving at night, this is another go-to I've been enjoying. And of course, you can switch up. You know, you want to make sure the flavor profile is great, but blackberry and pineapple and orange juice and coconut cream, what more could you ask for? So I'm gonna try to sip when you talk.
Hmm. Chef, I've been sipping, and then I sprinkled some extra chia seeds because I love that texture. So this is
Mm,
this is perfect. It's like, how could this be breakfast?
I know. It's like a dessert.
Right. So yeah, the smoothies I really appreciate it. Then right on the next page, if you follow me, if you know me, you know how I feel about bowls. This Costa Rican rice and bean bowl right here. Are you kidding? Look at
I
that.
love it.
Yeah. And yeah, you have the beans, you have the plantains, the tomatoes, the cilantro. You have the egg substitute. I probably would do like a tofu scramble, but
Yeah.
this is my type of eating
So
right here.
good.
Yeah, and then
So
you can
good.
like flip to the middle of the book and you have a section dedicated to the kiddos. And it's just
Oh,
like, oh my gosh, you're so thoughtful. And yeah, I just love the tofu recipes because I am a huge advocate for tofu. Y'all know that. Um,
yes.
so yeah, there's just so much in this book, and I'm like, where do I even begin? But I have to start
Yeah.
somewhere, right? But start it with the smoothie. I'm talking about the real food because we want to get into the kitchen. We want to put on an apron, right?
Exactly. Well, Chef, I'm gonna jump right into the desserts because I like the sweets. And McKinney,
Ooh.
because it's also Valentine's Day coming up, guys. Whether you have a Valentine's or it's you, yourself, and I,
Uh-huh.
these strawberry shortcake ice cream bars. I mean, can you imagine? And it's
Yeah.
not like you have to make the shortcake. She's talking about grab your Lorna Doones, which we know are vegan, and other items you can get. But I just thought it was so pretty to either serve yourself or do something different. I don't know. What do you guys serve for dessert on Valentine's? What is a Valentine's dessert besides chocolate?
Uh,
Right.
ooh.
What is a Valentine's dessert besides chocolate? But these strawberry shortcake ice cream bars could be a new twist for this. What is it? Sunday, Valentine's Day? No, it's
Mhm.
Saturday. So
Yeah.
get with it, guys, if you haven't figured that out.
Strawberries.
But
Yep.
then
Hi,
I'm going to jump
Chastity.
in. The next recipe I loved was Baba's Morning Quinoa Bowl.
Ooh.
You know what I think, Chef? We should create, well, we are going to, but we should create a recipe, but don't say what you're going to do. And then that'll
Oh, you
be our
guys have to guess that.
contest.
No, 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 no. Yeah, the audience has to guess what we're going to make. We're talking about all
Oh,
these recipes, so y'all have to guess.
okay. So we're going to tell you what recipes we, you know, the, turn the page
Yeah.
or mark, like you see in my book. I can't get my words out today. And then you have to guess. So write it down, jot it down, or remember. So, Chef, repeat the recipes that you so far have said you like.
So I said the Costa
Oh, right.
Rican, not the Cuban, Costa Rican rice and bean bowl, right? Right here.
Okay.
Page 47, right here, right? Look at that.
Okay.
Y'all look
That looks
at that.
pretty tasty.
Right? And it's just so easy. Like that's something that you could easily meal prep at the beginning of the week and say, okay, let me, turn on the skillet, warm it up. And then even if you don't want to do a bowl, you could throw that in a tortilla, make a breakfast burrito. A little
Yeah.
fresh salsa. Come on, y'all. McKinney,
Chef,
you did something.
talk a little bit about meal prepping and why that's so important, especially as you transition into plant-based eating. How do you
Oh
meal
my
prep? Because I know you,
gosh.
yeah.
Yeah, meal prepping is essential, especially when switching over to a plant-based diet. Not only does it save you time, but it saves you a load of money.
Yes.
One of the most common things we come into is hearing that plant-based eating is so expensive. That's because,
Mhm.
you're going out to these restaurants and you're spending $30 on one meal, but you could easily go and buy 2 pounds of beans and prep that at the beginning of the week.
Yes.
And then from one pot of beans, you can make 10 different recipes. Take black beans, for example. Like last week, I made a Southwestern black bean soup. I also used
Mm.
those black beans to make a 3 bean chili. I took the same black beans and made nachos. You can make black bean burgers. So it's so versatile. And one of the things that I enjoy doing, I like variety.
Mhm.
So I just prep like ingredients. So I'll prep my shelf stable vegetables and, do the beans. And then I'll just have, things ready for me to just pop in the skillet and
Okay.
I eat like that. So yeah, meal prep is so important, especially when you want to be healthier or, just become the best version of yourself or just enjoy tasty food. And I feel
Yes.
like this right here, I gained a lot of inspiration from places, and this right here, this is a good place to like, just get like some
Yeah.
ideas. Yeah.
And it's not over the top or ingredients that you won't
Hmm.
be familiar with. And they're easy to find, mainly in
Absolutely.
your local store, which I think is important, especially to be able to keep your prices down, right?
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that McKinney said at the beginning of the book, in the introduction. To me, simple goodness is the ease of making dinner with few ingredients from the local bodega or from your garden. It's about using what you have.
Mm.
Simple goodness is about the foods your family loves and celebrates, from the pit barbecue your daddy cooked to your mom's Saturday morning breakfast.
Yeah.
So it's just about, just using what you have. This is a good blueprint, but don't be afraid with using any recipe. Step
Yeah.
outside of it. Make it the way that they intended. First couple times, get comfortable, get familiar. But once you get familiar with it, make it your own. This is what a
Yeah.
recipe really is. So, I love that about this book here. It's like I could easily see myself, okay, 1 tablespoon of vegan Worcestershire sauce. But the next time I might not use it at all because I'm just like in my mind, what can I switch
Yeah.
out? How
For
can
sure.
I switch the flavor profile? And this is the perfect book for that here.
I
And this is a
love that. Okay.
unbiased review because like I haven't had the pleasure of having her food yet, but just based off of the pictures and now having the smoothie, I'm like, oh, sister girl knows what she's doing.
Well, I have a bias review because I've been to her restaurant, I've cooked at her restaurant, but I'm like, okay, fam, these savory eggs with Napa cabbage
Oh
just
my
look
goodness.
delicious to me. She does suggest in the book in the recipe to use just eggs,
Mhm.
but I do a mung bean egg. So I'm going to be at your point, chef, being able to switch out my mung bean and get this same texture. And
Mm,
then, like you said, I'd probably put some tortillas with it and some salsa. That would be my jam. So
absolutely. And
that's
you can
one.
have that for
And
breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
yes, because she also says with steamed rice. So you could do that as a lunch or dinner with the rice. I don't typically have rice for breakfast, but
Mhm.
I might have quinoa with it for breakfast. I don't
All
know.
right. There you
Yeah,
go. Complete protein. All right now.
I love it. What's your next one, chef, you're considering?
Ah. This right here.
Oh, what's
It's Taco
that? Wait,
Tuesday.
what page is
These
that?
this is page 123.
Okay, wait.
Chipotle plant beef and bean tostadas.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. And
Well,
um, what's that?
no, no. If you're going that way, I'm gonna go straight to the Creole Sloppy Joes
Ooh.
because this I like, and I would either do it with, I could do my lentil ground meat.
Mm-hmm.
She's recommending several products that you might have in your pantry, which is
Yeah.
cool. Or I think jackfruit would work really well. We're just trying to share with you how practical this cookbook is and
Yeah.
how you can, make it one way. Like she's suggesting the if you have Impossible or Beyond Meat or your favorite plant-based ground beef, she's calling that out.
Mm-hmm.
I usually go for the jackfruit or like my walnut and lentil ground meat that I make.
Mm.
But you may have some impossible ground meat in your refrigerator right now, so you know you have it, and it's onions and bell peppers and all the great seasonings to make that Creole sauce. So that's one that I'm going to go for, I think. But
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
saying which one I'm going to put up as content. I'm just saying what I might go for. So you guys still have to guess.
Hmm.
What's another one, Chef, you like?
Keeping it with the theme of what I enjoy eating for myself,
Yes.
the macho burrito. Can you
Oh,
look at
is it
that?
matcha or macho?
Macho.
No,
Was
that's an inside joke, guys. You have to have been there to know macho or macho. Okay, so it's a macho burrito.
yes. And see, here we go. There's the black beans. There's some
Oh,
vegan
okay.
cheese and some chipotle dip. And I really appreciate how, okay, she's calling for the Baba's chorizo taco mix. At the
Oh,
beginning of the book, she's giving you that. She's
okay.
giving you like the foundation of how to make the sauces and
Okay. Yes.
the things that are commonly used in these recipes. And just flipping to the back really quick because I know there's someone out there like, oh, I don't know what to use or how to use the what do you call it, the measurements,
Measurement.
the
Yes.
conversion metric conversions. She has that in the back for you, right here in the
She's
back.
really done a complete job with this, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm like, she thought of everyone from the home
Yes.
cook to the chef to someone that is new to plant-based eating, someone that's seasoned. Like I said, it's all here. It is
But
all here.
and that's who she really is. I mean, if you've met Makini, and I'm so excited for her to join us for a future episode and share with us some of the exciting things she's doing. And everyone will be able to get their hands on it. That's even more exciting that she's going to bring, it's like a taste of Makini's kitchen into your
Yeah.
house, or a taste of Plum Bistro into your house, or a taste of Plum Sweets. That's what I think she's done with all of her cookbooks. And
Hmm.
specifically this one, she's really, not being the gatekeeper and saying, here's the recipe, here how we did it over 20 years of experience. We've got it right. You're
Hmm.
not going to try one of these recipes and it not either look like the picture. Well, it may not look like the picture because there's food styling that goes on into cookbooks, but it's going to taste and it's going to be flavored as such. So we're very, very excited for that.
Hmm. Absolutely. Next up, chef, what caught my eye? This cauliflower and yam bisque right here. I love a
Oh,
good bisque.
a soup, a bisque.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
that's
yes. Let's see
it's
the
so easy to
picture.
make right here. Look at
Oh,
how
I love that.
beautiful that
I
is. Especially
love
like
that.
a day right here and on the East Coast where I'm at. It's
Yes,
cold, it's rainy. You just want something comforting. You want to curl up on the couch. I don't have a fireplace, but I could put it on YouTube on my TV and pretend like I have one.
for
But
sure, for sure. And I'm
it's
on the West
perfect.
Coast and it's cold.
Really?
Yeah, but it's been raining and very damp.
Ooh.
So, yeah, but not as
That's
cold as where you are, I'm sure.
well, we were just in the 80s this weekend, so it's like,
Oh,
okay, choose one. Are we in spring, summer, or winter?
yeah, we're in
But I
the
think today we're
60s,
in winter.
70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're talking about soup, you've got that cauliflower. I'm liking because I like roasted red pepper
Ooh,
soup.
I saw that one. I saw
That
that one.
one,
Yeah.
yes. Either
Yeah.
of them could be really good. I would make both.
Yeah.
I would prep for the week, like we're talking, and then be able just to have it. I think you point out such a good thing with meal prepping
Hmm.
and having things already ready. So
Yeah.
when you get into your hectic week, there's something there.
Hmm.
Because when we don't have something available, we usually then go for the lesser of, the things we want to, whether trying to snack or just ordering food, DoorDash or whatever
Yeah.
you do. So I think this is a really good cookbook to keep you in it. That's what I'll say. This
Absolutely.
cookbook will keep you in it, keep you encouraged, keep you, going, what am I going to do this week? That's what I've found as someone that always cooks for others and myself.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I appreciate about soups and bisque is that it is the foundation for something delicious. You could
Yes.
saute some veggies and pour that soup over it and have like a nice little sauteed veggie situation. I love making something similar to that roasted red pepper soup that you just
Okay.
showed, and I use that as a pasta sauce.
I
It
love it.
is out of this world. So
Sounds
yeah,
so good.
it's perfect for meal prepping. Put it in a mason jar, store it in the fridge. It's good for at least a week.
Yes. Yes, and that's the nice thing. And you can also, most soups you can
Yeah,
freeze.
yeah.
So that's another thing that's really great when you're talking about meal prepping
Mm-hmm.
or, trying a recipe out, or if you're
Mm-hmm.
batching, like you said, the black beans, you can freeze these things. You just want to make sure you date them
Yeah.
so you know when you put them in the freezer, because time can fly and you don't want them to get frostbitten. But
Mm-hmm.
these are the things that can really make your life easier, especially if you're cooking for a family or you're cooking for different taste. You may be
Mm-hmm.
trying to go plant-based vegan, but the rest of your family isn't into it. But you can do this, and then what you're cooking can be the foundation of what you're making for them, and then add what you want as far as the protein you might choose
Mm-hmm.
that might not be plant-based. I like her sriracha meatloaf with steamed rice and bok choy also. I think that one, I do a walnut lentil meatloaf, but the sriracha sounds really good. You could choose out or switch out the bok choy. You could switch out the rice for quinoa, for buckwheat,
Mm-hmm.
for black rice. There's so many different grains. And that, again, you can take this and try the recipe first as is, and then you can decide, oh, what I really want to experiment with these different type of grains, but that meatloaf can be the center of your plate, and then you can seasonally pick your vegetables. And that's, I think, good ideas to think about when you're going plant-based, just to expand your offering and not wind up eating just SpaghettiOs
Yeah.
every night. Some people come into veganism because they've told me and they just stick with one thing, and that isn't sustainable and it's going to get boring. So
Mm-hmm.
this particular cookbook, Simple Goodness, can give you a lot of, I think, entry into immediate to even leveling it up based on what you want to do with these recipes. And as Chef Sebeq said, I heard you say making them your own,
Yeah.
but knowing it, not necessarily having to even open a cookbook. Once you've done it 10, 15 times, you know how it's going to turn out. But it's a great book to have, marked of your favorites to remember and go back to, is what I'm taking away from this.
Absolutely. 110%. I just want to, move over to the kiddos for a second, that section. Because there's a
Oh,
lot of kids out there, "Oh, I don't like veggies, but you can sneak it into a pasta sauce." And I love what McKinney did here with the hidden veggie pasta. She took some frozen veggies and some tomato sauce and some plant cheese and some seasoning and spices, and she made a delicious pasta sauce. And I'm like, how about that?
yes.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, just getting you out of your comfort zone, out of your regular way of thinking. You don't have to steam those veggies. You don't have to cook those Brussels sprouts. Or I think I was listening to someone share at a meeting and they said that they boiled Brussels sprouts. And I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, we don't have to do that anymore. Let's think outside the box. Add it to the pasta sauce, throw it in the blender,
Yeah.
put it on the pasta, and serve it like that. You know, I feel
Hello,
so
Crystal. Welcome. I know you're going to love this cookbook, Simple Goodness. Crystal, she has a whole section, as Chef is talking about, for the
yeah,
kids
for sure.
and recipes, and it's just an international cookbook for all the kids and foods. And as Chef said, to get them, well, these are chocolate chunk fudge brownies. I think I eat that. I mean, chocolate chip cookies for the kids. This is really cute. But she does have, like you said, the spaghetti
Yeah.
you had there. And oh, you know why I got into the sweets part. But then she
Oh,
has
Steph, you got a
the
sweet tooth over
I
there. You going with the
really have a sweet tooth today. You know why? Because I juiced all day yesterday. That's my Monday
ah,
thing. She's got a whole kiddo lunchbox. Just some
mm,
really cute ideas for those of us that are not me, those that are trying to find and have creative ideas for their kids. And I think it's just really fun. She's got this is the kids section, but obviously, when I go to restaurants and it says kids menu, so many times something on the kids menu I want. And I can't stand it when they say, no, this is just for kids. Why can't I have what the kids menu is? Because it's simple, it's not fussy, and I
Yeah,
love that about that. What else you got over there, Chef?
absolutely. Still in the kids section.
Oh, you want to be a kid today. You talk about my
Yeah, like
sweet tooth.
I'm embracing my inner child. Listen, this is speaking to my spirit, my soul.
Yes,
As someone that grew up and being vegan since birth, and seeing opening a cookbook from a woman of color and
yes,
seeing blackened tofu burgers, this is how I grew up eating. So this
yes,
is, I
that's
feel
right.
seen by this. So it's like, yeah, we stepping into the inner child today. You know, we're going back to a little Sebeq, right? This
I
blackened
love that.
this blackened tofu burger with the sliced avocados and strawberries, of course. But yeah, that using the tofu and battering it with the Cajun butter. Oh my gosh! And yeah, this looks really really good, and you can see
It's,
that the kids are right here enjoying it, right?
yes.
So beautiful. Love that.
And you've got the Baba smoked tofu cold cut Sammy for the
Yeah.
kids. And that looks really, really good. So all of these recipes are plant-based. It's 100% vegan. Chef Makini Howell has been vegan since birth, as has Chef Sebeq, and her family has been vegan. Her mom and dad were, making tofu vegan sandwiches, Baba's tofu, before they were even born. So McKinney and her brother and her sister were born into veganism. They've all done magnificent things. Her mother and her sister have their own cafe in Washington. McKinney's in Washington. She recently closed her 20-year long-standing plum empire. But you know McKinney, if you know McKinney, she's doing some exciting things, and she's going to be joining us on a future episode and talking about that. And I can't wait to share that, but I want her to be on with us when we talk about that. Simple Goodness is her third cookbook. Her first was McKinney's Vegan Kitchen, and then she came out with Plum Gratifying Plant-Based Dishes. She was in 2015. She went on tour. It was 2015, yes, with Stevie Wonder. She was his personal chef. The Keys of Life tour. She was with him for a year while still operating her restaurant in Seattle. So we are celebrating her during Black History Month. We celebrate her every day. She's a dear friend of mine. She and Chef connect on the vegan since birth. I think I have more than a half a dozen friends that have been vegan since birth. I'm trying to get my vegan since birth black card. That's not going to work, no matter how long I'm vegan, but it's all right because I can hang out with you guys. But this book is one no fuss recipes. She came out with it last year, and we are just celebrating her. And then she's going to come and join us, like I said, in a future episode. Chef, is there anything else you want to share with fam about this book? We've shared so much. We will put up the replay
Absolutely.
for those of you that just came in, or those of you that want to check it out again. I watched my own replays or these posts like 3 times, 2 to 3 times. And so I hope that you are enjoying this with us and having a good time on this road. But anything else, Chef, you want to share before
Okay,
we let people go on to their busy day?
one last thing.
What's that?
This Creole tempeh with its wilted collard and jasmine rice.
Oh,
I'm
that
like, come
looks
on,
delicious.
right? It looks amazing. I think you guys can tell by now. This book is really exciting, and you should do yourself a favor and order it, find it, request it at your local bookstore. And yeah,
Yes,
this is it's so exciting. Chef McKinney is doing some amazing things, and yeah, like I just love that. You know, you can look at the vegan since birth people, and they're like doing some amazing things in the world.
yes.
So yeah, yeah.
Thank
We're not deficient. We're not, strange people or sick in the head or anything. We're good.
Yes, yes. We're cool
So I get
people.
really
Come
excited when
on,
I
and we
see
eat good
things like
food.
this.
We
For
have
sure.
enjoyed you joining us for our I'm going to say simple goodness reveal, not a review. It's really a reveal of how we've gotten into this book by Chef Makini Howell. She's out of Seattle, Washington. She's had an empire for over 20 years. Deborah, thank you. Thank you for being here. And she is continuing on. She's going to be joining us in a future episode, as I've said, but we're excited to celebrate her. I said through Black History Month, through every day of the year, because she's brilliant. Her family has been in the vegan world for over 50 years. So when we talk about sustainability, can you actually sustain and thrive and live on a plant-based diet? Chef Sebeq and others like Makini Howe and her family are testament to that. And she has really not held anything back in this book, Simple Goodness. She's given you all the goods, some of the favorite recipes. I know people were really upset when she announced she was closing her restaurant, but she's given many of the recipes and is challenging to cook at home and enjoy her food and make it your own. Chef and I both created this morning the Black or the Berry smoothie. I love the name. It's delicious. It has frozen blackberries, frozen pineapple. You have coconut cream in it. You have your favorite sweetener, be that agave, vegan honey, or other. You have chia pudding, so it's bumping up that protein content and giving it a lot of body. You have fresh squeezed orange juice. You can have all these things prepped. You could even make your smoothie the night before if you're one of those get out of the house real quick in the morning and just take it, put it in the freezer and grab it, pull it out while you're getting everything together and take it on the road with you. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this. How much do you have, Chef? Have you drank most of yours?
Oh no, I just
Oh,
refilled mine.
you
Listen,
refilled yours.
I,
Yes. The recipe will make one or two smoothies depending on how much you drink. So
yeah.
I'm actually getting two smoothies out of this. Chef, what are your closing words for the fam? You know we'll be back next Tuesday.
Yeah.
We have a special guest with us, and that will be 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll put up the post to remind you, but we always put a reminder when we put it up on Monday. So Chef, close us out.
Oh my goodness, yes. Make sure you mark your calendars. Every session is good, but I'm super excited for next week.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really good one. Take it from me, you guys. Um, yeah, this book is amazing. Simple Goodness, McKinney Howell. Good job. Can't wait to, explore and make some of these things. Make sure you're tuned into our pages because we're going to be whipping it up very soon. And one of the most important things, make sure you're cooking with love. That is
Yes.
the main ingredient, right?
Yes.
Until next week.
Thank you, Chef. Cheers to you. We're going to get it
Cheers.
through the phone at some point with all this technology. Pam, have a great day. We'll see you next week.
All right. Take care.